It's Ramadan and I'm fasting for 30 days along with the rest of the Muslim world. In that time I'm going to be learning about Islam, but today I built myself a special place in the forest where I can do that. It's Ramadan and I'm very hungry. I'm fasting along with all the other Muslims in the US, Muslims in Malaysia, Muslims all around the world are fasting for Ramadan. And I thought I would do it as well. I'm not Muslim, but I have a lot of friends and subscribers and viewers that are Muslim. Since I'm just stuck at home anyway for coronavirus, I thought I'd take this opportunity to learn about Ramadan, to learn about Islam. This is my Ramadan project. I wanted a place where I could meditate and reflect and study during Ramadan. So I built this thing out of a bunch of scraps, and I was going to show you guys how I made it while talking about Ramadan and my fasting. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking the link below. It only takes a second and it helps me out a lot. Go ahead and click it. I'll wait for you. Oh, what's going on here? Ooh, I'm awake, kind of. I don't normally wake up this early. Mint, no, Lady Grey, green tea, not for breakfast, no. Earl Grey, yeah, okay. My Malaysian subscribers have been giving me a lot of recommendations on what to eat for suhar, maybe a little bit more. Sure. Banana. I don't have any dates, but I do have some honey. So at the back of our property we have this massive tree that fell down a couple years ago. This right here is actually the root system. And it kind of goes over this creek back here. Listen to all the birds in the trees. They're everywhere. Before I start working though, I think I'm going to change my clothes. I don't want to get Lord Ganesh dirty. So I don't know much about Ramadan, but my Malaysian subscribers and viewers have been helping me out. They've been telling me, what is Ramadan? Why do we celebrate it? What are the rules associated with Ramadan? So they've been answering all of my questions, so I have to thank all of them. But I have been fasting. Today is my second day, and I haven't had any food or water today. Yesterday I didn't have any food, but I was drinking water and tea because it was very hot and I was busy working on this project. This is my Ramadan project. So Malaysia is under partial lockdown. They're calling it the movement control order. They've extended it a few times. They just extended it again until May 12th. So people have been stuck in their homes. They can only go to the grocery store, the hospital, things like that. And there's no religious gatherings allowed. So no public religious gatherings. All the mosques are closed, the temples are closed, the churches are closed, and it's the holy month of Ramadan, which is a problem in Malaysia because Malaysia's population is primarily Muslim. In a normal world, a lot of Malaysians right now would be in the mosques, they'd be praying, they'd be studying. It's their holiest month, it's one of their biggest holidays, but they're not able to celebrate properly. For the health of the public, the people are having to stay home and worship at home, which isn't ideal, but in the situation that the world's in right now, it's probably the best option. I am drinking today, since it is pretty hot out and this is tough work, but I'm not eating though. The US is much bigger than Malaysia. My state that I'm living in right now, Washington State, is about the same size as Malaysia, and there's 50 US states. So one US state is about as big as Malaysia, and every state in the US has its own rules on coronavirus. Lunchtime, I'm taking a break. Just kidding, I don't get lunch. Some places like New York, you've heard about of course on the news, where everybody is getting sick. There's a lot of people in the hospitals, they're running out of medical supplies. But there's more rural states, say Montana for instance, which is a huge state. It's mostly forests and farmland and mountains. There's not a huge population there, so it's not as big of a problem there. So every state has different rules. It's not bad. It's waterproof, I'm sure. So I tested it out. It is waterproof. Some are on partial lockdown, some aren't on lockdown at all, even though the federal government says that there has to be a lockdown, but some of the states are going against that order and doing their own thing. So here in the US, there's not a huge Muslim population to begin with. It's primarily Christian. But in a lot of the smaller towns, the more rural places, you're not going to find a mosque. It's going to be just little churches here and there. So I think the Muslim populations, you're going to find them in the bigger cities like New York or Los Angeles or Seattle. And those are the cities that have the tightest regulations when it comes to coronavirus. So all the churches, all the mosques are going to be shut down. I have heard stories about Christian churches in rural areas that are staying open. Even though it's against the law, they're staying open and they're letting people in. But they are taking precautions to limit the exposure of people. They're only letting a certain amount of people in at a time. They're not having a full service like they normally would. But there's only a few churches here and there that are doing that you hear about on the news. Most churches are closed, but I'm pretty sure most mosques in the US are closed, since you're going to find those in the bigger cities, which are shut down for coronavirus anyway. It's made out of fiberglass. It's like from an old greenhouse or something that we tore down. Since I'm non-Muslim, I won't be praying 5 times a day. I won't be following the rules as strictly as Muslims around the world are. So the only rule for Ramadan that I'll be following is the fasting. From what I've learned from my Malaysian subscribers, you have your breakfast meal, your morning meal, your suhar or suhur, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. You have that before morning prayer, before the sun rises, usually 4 or 5 in the morning, so pretty early. And then you can't eat the entire day until after evening prayer, when you have your iftar, your evening meal. So you have to fast through the entire day, but the times actually change every day, and the times are different in other parts of the world. So my fasting times here are like 15.5 hours a day or something, and then it changes every day from like 4:32 in the morning to 4:30 and 4:28. So since I'm not Muslim and I'm not really concerned about all the little details, and I'm just doing it for the fasting, for the experience, I'm just going to put a set time from 5 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. So 14 hours a day. So I'm not supposed to have iftar until about 8 o'clock at night. But since my family usually eat a little bit earlier, I changed my time from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock so I can be able to eat with them. So I practiced martial arts in China for a year at a Buddhist temple. You can check it out by clicking the link right here. But when I was there, I did some fasting here and there. But it was only food fasting, so I'm not used to having no liquids during fasting. That's kind of a strange new concept to me. So I decided my first day I'm not going to do the liquid fast, I'm just going to do the food fast. Also, I wanted to get some work done today. I'm going to be doing a lot of physical labor in the sun, in the heat, so I wanted to stay hydrated. I didn't want to totally shock my system by not eating and not drinking. Now I'm really thirsty. That was tough. Did you see me almost fall in the water? That was close. That was a close one. So that was a big project. I'm really sweating now. But it looks better, I think. This whole area before was blocked and you couldn't see anything right here because there's all just dead branches and thorns. Took out some of the branches. I wanted to leave all this because it's really pretty, but just some of them that were hanging down and blocking my view over there. I made this all in one afternoon with stuff that we were going to throw away. I used a pallet that we got for free for the floor. I used a bunch of random boards that weren't being used for the frame. I used some old tin for the roof, which was just sitting and rusting. I made sure and put the pretty side on the inside though, because I have to look at that. The exterior walls are made out of some old fencing that we had around our yard, and we tore it down and we were just going to throw them away. It's pretty dirty, but I kind of like this rustic look. 95% of all the nails and screws and things that I used to put it together are out of an old barn that I took out years ago. And the window, which still needs to be cleaned, is made out of fiberglass, and that's from an old greenhouse that was ruined and falling apart. So I basically spent about $2 US on this project. So we do live at the beach, and there's a lot of like beach themed things we have, like rope and buoys and things. So I thought it'd be cool to decorate it. Also, I have a huge collection of kites I could use to decorate it as well. So my Malaysian friends recommended Muslim Pro, and I can tell here in Long Beach, Washington in the US when my suhar and iftar times are. And mine are 4:30 in the morning and 8 o'clock at night. So Malaysians can take their suhoor at like 5:40 in the morning, and then they can take their iftar at like 7:30 at night. So pretty much I have 2 hours extra fasting time compared to Malaysians. I'll just throw some random ocean junk up against the wall and call it art. There we go. Got the sunshine coming through the trees, that's pretty good. See, what do you guys think? I think it's pretty cool. No camping. Got some beach theme thing going on. Got some fire. I'm sure this will look pretty cool at night. Got some art. My fan. Yoga mat. Now there's tiki torches blocking my view. I just took all those sticks out. But pretty peaceful back here. Overall, I think I'm doing pretty well. I haven't had any food or water today, but it is only the second day. Still 28 days. Whoa, shoot. Sorry, I'm walking on a log here, and I'm kind of afraid of heights. 28 days to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video of my experience in Ramadan so far. My little fort that I built over here on the river in the forest. And I'll see you guys next... Whoa, sorry. See you guys next time.